So back in late fall of last year, we started working on our 12 days of Christmas decorations. And somebody said to me, she says, "You can do embroidery?" I said, "Yeah, I've been embroidering since I was a little one." My mother had 3 daughters. We had to learn everything. And so I got tasked with making little embroidered Christmas ornaments out of our wool felt. And I thought, oh, okay, this is pretty easy. So I did one, and that was kind of fun. So I did another one, and that was even more fun. And so I sweet talked Santa into buying me this book. And it's a wonderful book. And in this book, it gives you 12 different butterfly and or moth designs. I think there's a dragonfly in here as well, done in both an embroidery format, this is hand embroidery, and in a wool felt format. Beautiful book to work from, very good drawings, and super right at the beginning, super instructions and some wonderful ideas on what to do with these things after you've made them. Because for me, I just make them because they're so much fun, and then you go, oh, okay, well, but what am I going to do with them afterwards? So just for fun, I thought I would show you the technique that she uses in this book to make us a little, this is a wool felt butterfly. Okay? So the first thing that, where's my bag of goodies? Bag of goodies. There. First thing you're going to do is choose your design out of the book. Which butterfly do you want to do? 1 through 12. And you're going to trace all of the parts of your butterfly onto good old freezer paper. We love freezer paper. I'm starting to use freezer paper more and more for transferring patterns. It's wonderful. And you can use each shape more than once. You get maybe 2 or 3 imprints out of it. So the first thing you want to do is trace all of the shapes onto your freezer paper. Cut them out roughly around the edge, and then iron them onto your felt pieces. So, and the nice thing with working with freezer paper, unlike a fused applique, is you don't have to reverse anything because the freezer paper goes on the top side. So whether you're working with wool felt, maybe you like to work with fabric and you just want to do a needle turn applique and leave a little bit edge, the freezer paper goes on the top surface. So you get all your pieces pressed, you choose your colors, and then you cut them out on the traced line. Each of her designs, the pieces in that particular image, like this one, they're all numbered. And they're numbered to let you know what order to put those pieces down in, so that the ones that go on top are easy to place. So I'm going to move this guy over here. Then what I thought was one of the greatest tips. Now, I like to work my wool felt on a piece of background fabric. This is, let's put it over top here. There you go. Now you can see that. This is just a beige print fabric. That way I can either use this as a quilt block, or if I want, I can trim it very narrow around the edge, turn it under, and hand applique that to a jacket, or I put some on a bag last time I did these. But so you're going to start with a base fabric. And then this is the coolest tip ever for positioning things. You take a piece of plastic. I don't know if this is easy enough for you to see or not. This just happens to be plastic bag, one of our store bags. And you trace the finished butterfly with a Sharpie marker onto the plastic. So now you have a transparent pattern overlay that you can use to position your felt pieces. So what I'm going to do with that, and I have some here, this is the Clover applique pins. And you're going, oh, applique pins, why not just use regular pins? These are so nice to work with. Look at the size of those. Just little short pins, because when you're doing applique, you're stitching. And with a long pin, that thread can get caught so easily. So I'm going to use a couple of pins to pin down my overlay like that. There we are. Move those guys off. Just so that it holds in place. And now I can start laying out my design. And I can start with piece number 1. And like I say, you don't have to reverse this. So you peel off your freezer paper, lift up your overlay, set that down, and go, I need to just jiggle it into place. The nice thing with working with felt, and this is our wool felt, it's a wool blend felt actually, so it's partly acrylic, partly wool. And it kind of clings to things. There we go. And then you're going to put your little applique pins in, and you can base that down at this stage, or you can wait and base that down when you've got most of your butterfly laid out. That kind of depends on your design. So next thing, piece number 2. It's going to fit right here. The instructions in the book are really, really easy. And it gives you lots of tips on what sort of stitches to use to hold things down. Piece number 3. There we go. Another one of these little guys. And then the big wing parts here, piece number 4. Now this is where you need your overlay. Where exactly does that go? That goes right there. Ooh, good guess, but then hey, I cheated. I already did one. Are. So we just gradually build our butterfly, and I think this is perhaps something that with a little help even the kids could get involved with. Looking okay. So what I might do if I was working on this at this point is start basting that in place, or with the first one that I did, I just layered all the felt and basted everything at once. Just don't cover up one pin and forget it's there. So this guy. Double check. That's looking pretty good there. So once you get all of your pieces laid out, you can baste them in place, and I really do. I tried not basting, but you know, it makes your life so much easier if you throw a few basting stitches in there. There. So now what I would do is take my overlay off and baste all of those pieces down. And then what you end up with is this little guy. He's all held down, and now you can start putting in your decorative stitches. And what she recommends in the book, her name is Catherine Redford, what she recommends for these is to do a whip stitch around the edge of your pieces. So I did some of this with a whip stitch, but a lot of it I did with a hand blanket stitch, just because I like that look around there. I think the black I did with a whip stitch, and some of the delicate edges here. So you get that all held down, and he's pretty the way he is, but now what you get to do is you get to start adding the decoration. For me, that's part of the fun. I brought some floss. I have a gazillion pieces of floss at home, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my pink. Did I bring my snips? I did. So like this. Dawn should not have put this out on the table. This is a multicolor Razzle rayon. Look at the colors in that. And I so want to open that up and give it a try, but I'm resisting. Maybe for another project we'll do that. So now you get to just experiment with embroidery stitches, do a little bit of play, a little bit of try it out. And the nice thing with the felt is, if you don't like it, you can always just give it a snip, pull it out, try something else. In the book, there are a good selection, certainly not all the embroidery stitches there are, but a really good selection of stitches that you could use on your butterfly. So this one, I think, was number, there he is. See if we can find him. I think it was pattern 2. Nope. There we go. This one. So there's the book image of pattern 2. There's your placement diagram. And there's the picture of the butterfly and how she has chosen to decorate it. You don't have to decorate it that way. You can do anything you want. She has a little library in the front of embroidery stitches, very well illustrated, so you can see just what you might want to do. And let me see. I think I'm just going to do one thing, and I like single strand for a lot of things. Maybe this one will do double strand. So when I go home in the evenings after a long day running machines, I will very often sit and hand stitch because it's relaxing, it's calming. There we go. So we'll do one. Just going to do a basic little flower here. So I hope everybody will at least give some handwork a try. It's how we all got started with sewing back in the day. The nice thing with working on the wool felt is how stable it is. You don't have to get an embroidery hoop going. Right now I'm stitching through 1 layer of fabric, 2 layers of felt, and you can see how easily that needle slips through. You get to spin it around. You get to play with all the wonderful colors of embroidery floss. And that green felt is really hard to see under some lighting conditions. And then when you're finished with all of the decoration, and you can do more or less decoration than what you see in the pictures, you can take your beautiful little butterfly and you can work it into, that would be kind of nice, just sewn into a panel like this, and maybe make a pillow or put it on a bag to carry around. Gorgeous, gorgeous little project. And I hope everybody has the opportunity to give it a chance. It's so inspiring. And this is one of the nicest books that we have. We've got quite a few books on embroidery in the store right now, but this is one of my favorites, largely because of all the great color pictures, the simple, easy to follow instructions. So that's what I have for you today. Another different technique for our Technique Tuesday. And I hope you have the opportunity to give it a try. It's fun. It's fun sometimes to reach back and kind of connect with some of the roots that we did long ago. So, in the meantime, everybody, have a wonderful Tuesday. Remember to stay calm, stay kind, stay safe. Hope everybody has a great evening. Enjoy the weather wherever you are, because at this time of year, you never know what's going to come around the corner of us. Till then, take care, everyone, and have a great evening.